Hare Krishna, how are you today? My name is Narhari, and today we're gonna hear about a very nice pastime of Krishna and his friends. This pastime is called Aghasura. So once upon a time, Krishna was a little boy, and once he went up the bed, he blowed his horn and called all his friends to meet him. There were thousands of them, and each of them had a lot of cows too, baby cows, calves, really. So each of them had a stick, a flute, and something to eat in a bag. So they all started to walk toward the forest of Vrindavan. They were all very, very happy. And then Krishna sometimes went a little further. So then between them they were having this race to see who was the first one to touch Krishna, to be next to him. So one of them said, yeah, I'm going to touch Krishna. And the other one said, no, I'll touch him first. So they were very happy, having all this fun between them. They're all friends. Other ones, they wanted to play with the monkeys. So they went beside the monkey, they sat there, and they grabbed the little tail. And then the monkey started to jump, and then they start to jump too. Other of the cow boys liked to play with the shadow of the birds. So while the birds were flying by, they saw the shadow on the ground, and they start to chase it too. Other ones, they like the frogs. So they went to the Yamuna, very slowly watched the frogs, and when they jumped into the water, they jumped into the water too. So all these things were having place there in the forest of Vrindavan. And there was this one of these boys that grabbed the bag of food and took it from one of the other boys. And then when he realized, he started to chase him, and then they threw it from one and the other one. And they all had nice fun. They were just plays amongst them. So they were having a very nice day all together. And Aghasura was seeing all this. And he was really, really angry because Krishna had killed his demon brothers. He was the youngest. He killed Putana and his other brother too, Aghasura. So he was very angry that Krishna was having so much fun with his friends, and he wanted revenge. So he thought about a plan, and he said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he talked to Kamsa, and Kamsa was very encouraging him to do this. So finally he said, okay, I'm going to go lie down, and I'm going to grow up. He grew up so much. He had some yogi powers, so he could be very, 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 very big. So he transformed himself in 8 miles big. That's around more or less 200 airplanes, super big. So he just was there waiting for Krishna's friends and Krishna too. So he was so big that his mouth looked like a mountain. His teeth looked like the hill of the mountain. His tongue was like a very big road, and his eyes were like fire. He was full of anger. So even the demigods were afraid of him. They drank this liquid that made them immortal. But even though they were not very confident of it, because it was material, so they were afraid. But the cow boys, they were playing with Krishna, and they knew that everything was okay. They were Krishna conscious, so they weren't afraid. They were curious. They wanted to see this. When they saw Aghasura, at first they thought that it was a statue. But then they went walking further, and they could smell that something was coming from the mouth. It was stinky. They didn't like it. And then they saw the eyes, and then they saw the big mouth he had. They say, this is strange. But still they were wanting to know what was there. It seemed like a very big cave. They were very, very, very curious. So one of them said, we should go. And said, yeah, I don't think he's going to eat us all at the same time. And even though Krishna's here, so they walk through the mouth all together with the calves too. Krishna was with them, and he realized that that was a demon. So he stood behind a little bit, wondering what he could do, how he could save his friends and kill this demon. So he just sat there a little bit and then started to walk inside. So everybody, all the demigods were like, oh, Krishna is there, is inside. They were like very nervous and afraid. And all the demons were very happy. They said, oh, finally, Krishna. So Krishna was very relaxed. But when he heard that the demigods were sad, immediately he started to grow up, expand himself so much that Aghasura couldn't breathe. He started to choke. And his vital air couldn't go out from his mouth, so it went out from here, from the skull. So when the soul was outside, it illuminated everything, and it just stayed there. And then Krishna and all his boy friends woke up, and they went out of Aghasura. And everybody was very happy, and all the demigods threw flowers, and they were chanting, and they were having a very big celebration. So afterwards, the soul, when saw Krishna, it merged into him. It's a very rare, because he was a demon, but he did so many before pious activities, and he was very lucky that Krishna went in his body. So that's why he got purified about all the things that he done. So that was very lucky for him. So that's the story of Aghasura. I hope you liked it, and there's going to be more stories eventually. So I hope to see you around. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day.